Yo, what up folks, Trev TCG here with Keruga Fires. And a couple of requests recently for a couple of decks, and this was one of them. Other things include Esper, which I have an interesting Esper Walker list here. We recorded with Grixis Midrange a couple of days ago, but we've got some tweets I want to make here, and then we'll run that back. And I've got a couple of other things lined up. This is a black-white Invoke Justice list with Greasefang. There's a couple of other bits and pieces. My folk, gonna go back over that one at some point. But Keruga Fires on the table today. Let's have a look at the deck. So, this is fairly similar to Andre Strasky's list from the regional championships a little while ago. Obviously, Keruga, your companion here. Everything has to cost 3 or more. ETB, draw a card for each other opponent you control with mana value 3 or greater. A huge amount of card draw, but obviously the limitation of only being able to play 3 CMC things in your deck. But that's fine. We have at 3, Bonus Giant, which obviously gives you a 2 mana removal spell which you get to play. Temporary lockdown to clear up all your opponent's early stuff, and then some Skyclay Apparitions for some more interaction. And then we also have the Omnipotent... Yeah, no, sure. Fable's great. We all know Fable's great. And then, of course, this is a Fires of Invention deck. 4 mana enchantment. You can cast spells only during your turn and no more than 2 spells a turn, but you can cast spells with value less than or equal to the number of lands you control without paying their mana costs. This is the aim of the game. Get Fires in play and double spell, and we've got a bunch of powerful things to do, and because you're not using your lands, you get to use your lands for other things. So, what are we doing? We have 1 copy of Supreme Verdict. This is a little bit of a flex slot, but we want to have an extra sweeper in here, make sure we can go, okay, it's turn 4 Fires, Supreme Verdict. Just stop our opponent's doing. Omnath, obviously, well, what is there to say here? We have Fable Passage to get multiple Omnath triggers. It's just a ton of card advantage over the course of a game. Obviously, you can trigger it times, and it's something else you can do with Fires. Kenrith, 3 copies here. Like I said, you are not using your lands because you're playing off of Fires. Kenrith gives you a bunch of things to do, including killing your opponent quickly. So obviously the give all your creatures haste is important for that, but then you can gain a bunch of life, you can draw some cards, you can reanimate stuff, you can put counters on things. Kenrith's great. Leyline Binding is one of the other huge incentives for this kind of deck, in that we are playing a 5, just about. Got some black lands here. Color mana base. Gets a cast Leyline Binding for 1. Obviously, off of Fires, it's like kind of whatever, but it kind of helps you shore up your kind of early to mid game and deal with problematic permanents. And then Cavalier is a really, really important card on the deck for killing your opponent. Obviously, ETB, you can discard some cards and draw that many cards. When it dies, it does damage to each opponent. Each planeswalker they control, X number of land cards in your graveyard, but the important thing is that 1 and a red, creatures you control get +1/+1 haste. So basically, you're going to be ending the game with Cavalier giving your team haste and buffing it, and being able to swing through your opponent. And again, because you're casting things off Fires of Invention, you're not using your lands, and so you get to use Cavalier's ability. The mana base, there'll be a link in the description, well, there'll be a link to the deck list in the description if you want to copy the deck. And so it might be easier than looking through all this stuff. But hey, Energango, a Plains, an Island, an Otawara. Obviously, you get the utility lands, which again, given these are activated abilities, you're not using your lands. Actually, really, really nice with Fires. A Mountain and a Forest. We've got 1 of each basic to find with Fable Passage. A Hallowed Fountain, 3 Steam Vents. And then we're playing basically with a bunch of check lands because we've got a pile of Triumphs. Well, not a bunch of check lands, but some check lands. 2 Click Off to Retreat, and then we've got 3 Sacred Foundries and a Temple Garden, more shocks, and a pile of 3 color lands with 8 Jetmir Gardens, 2 Sparrow Headquarters, 2 Supply Triumphs, 2 Indatha Triumphs, 3 Raglan Triumphs, and those 2 Fable Passages we talked about before. For a total of, I think, 28 lands? Yeah, there you go. Which sounds like a lot, but hey. The mana is kind of the most important thing. And it makes your, removal spell stream. So, hey, it's pretty important. The sideboard, obviously we have the Keruga, and then we have a pile of counter spells, a Mystical Dispute. Shark Typhoon is kind of like an Atomic Win condition. It's actually pretty important in certain places. For Graveyard Hate, we're not messing around with any nonsense. We've got 4 copies of Leyline in the Void. We're pretty committed here. The deck is surprisingly consistent, and so you actually can mulligan reasonably well. And then we've got some more sweepers of Supreme Verdict, and then River's Rebuke, which is really, really important versus green. Just get them to pick all their permanents back up, and then ideally kill them with Cavalier. But that is the game plan. That is the deck. Let's hop into some ranked matches. I should say at this point, I played with Enigmatic, and I've played a little bit with Enigmatic Incarnation Fires. We did a video on that about a month ago, so if you're interested in that version of the deck, check it out, where you've got all the enchantment pod type stuff, with a bunch of silver bullets you can sacrifice into your up 4 with Incarnation. But I'm not super experienced playing the Fires deck, so please bear with me a little bit. Deck is super strong. This is the bit where, because we've kind of like gone through the deck and going into matches, I normally say, hey, if you're just here for the deck, thanks for watching. Maybe hit a like and subscribe if you're interested in more Explorer stuff. I try and cast a pretty wide net and cover a lot of different decks. This is interesting. Oh, we actually get this Fable Passage for Fable Passage, depending on whether we need this temporary lockdown time. It's a little awkward, but we're going to keep it, even if we've only got 2 spells. But yeah, hey. Elvish Mystic. Probably green, but could be something like Elves. It would be unwise to let this stick around, so we're gonna stomp it down now. Be a little careful with how we use our untapped lands. They are valuable. Looks like now we're not gonna get this temporary lockdown on time. Okay, they have more Elves. We'll play Triome. Our next turn is likely going to be casting temporary lockdown. Let's see. Okay, Nykthos. Have like a Khan hit. Kiora. Accelerators. Multiple elves means we're definitely. So we're going to go Ralgren Triome, temporary lockdown. Yeah? Yeah? Okay. We haven't got fires yet. The deck can play fine without it. You see here. Next turn we get to potentially go Omnath plus Fable Passage, which should be good. I think.
Let's get moving.
They have a Troll, which is annoying. The Troll gives them a lot of devotion as well. Doesn't interact with Stomp. If we had be fair. Oh wait, am I red, blue, white? Oh, we don't have green. I don't know why I thought this was junk colored. My bad. How are we gonna deal? Doesn't hit. Try and next turn. We probably don't have time. The play might actually be make Kenrith. That gives us that, and we can get our green source with the Fable Passage. Yeah, I think that's the best thing to do. Like I said, I'm not the greatest, well, the most experienced pilot here. I should know that this does not tap for green. But I think this is our best line. You cast Omnath to draw a card, but I think this is. If we draw a card, we have a chance to hit. Whoa. I think this is actually a little bit better. We have a chance to hit a Leyline Binding. I think long term, because the Kenrith wanted to play actually isn't really progressing us very much, whereas the Omnath will start kind of doing its thing.
The ocean surges.
Alright.
Thrives.
I think it's 6. They have the Storm of the Festival. Looks like they might do. Yeah, to be fair, there wasn't. I could have. It wouldn't have made a great deal of it. We could have gone and got the green source on turn 4 with the Fable Passage, but then we'd still be. That way we'd be able to trigger the game for life. But it still doesn't work out quite the way. We'd love a Leyline Binding here. That would be good. Be solid. But even something like Verdict is a little awkward. Okay, on 2. Yeah, fair. AI might threaten us to kill the lockdown. They threatens, it's gonna kill the lockdown. Okay. Well, we have a backup lockdown. It's still CMC 3 when it is. So mono green, the prevalence of mono green is actually one of the reasons not to play fires. To get to go over the top of you. It's why like River's Rebuke and Cavalier are so important. In that they get to kind of, once they start doing their thing, you just kind of fall behind. You have some powerful cards like Kenrith and stuff, but not competing very well. Right. They're threatening to have a bunch of. We have temporary lockdown, which interacts a little bit, but not a lot. If we had something for, I think we could go like, that fire's here. We're kind of really limited on what we can do on our turn. I think I deny them a little bit of mana. Can't attack. Kiora. Oh, maybe I do it. I do threat attack. Maybe I do this and deny them. Feel bad, but this will not do anything. This way we at least divide them some devotion. Which I think is sort of reasonable. We just want to slow them down a little bit. Try and draw to our kind of big payoff cards. And also, since we said now, we can maybe potentially like Kenrith those things. I think getting back the Haywire might, them Haywireing this temporary lockdown is almost meaningless. I think that's fine. I'm certainly fine with this being their draw step instead of them drawing towards like Festival.
I love to make a splash.
Alright. They get up to 6 again. 3. No, now they can't take with the land in play. At least there's something sick. Let's give them more though 7. It still kind of puts them in the Storm of the Vessel range, but prevents them potentially going off.
I am not frightened by you.
I think Cityscape level is 8. I think you get something powerful here. I'm not sure what it'll be. Oh, maybe it's just the thing that makes your spells cost more expensive. Like that would all, yeah, this is, the statue's still really good here. And we're at a point where we can cast most of our spells, and we're going to have fires. Well, no, okay. If we want to win the game, we're going to have fires. Well. Okay. Right. I have a ton going. These cost 5 or 7. We're not dead yet, but we're kind of pseudo dead. I'm gonna play this out a little. 6, 5. Where's on 4? They got 3. They're not tutoring off a calm this time. We're on 13, but I think.
I will be better prepared.
I'm not sure. Well, thing is that if we let the Khan, if we like cast Broncos Giant, let the Khan sit in play, you have to make this into a 6/6, as well as then be able to tutor something later on. 7 or more lands, not there yet. Interesting. We only see more of their deck at least. We know a little bit more about what to prepare for. Topiary Stompers. There's some quote unquote flex ups in the mono green deck. Whether you play Nissa, what your like third ramp thing is, whether that's like Paradise Druid or Temporary Stomper is an interesting one. Temporary Stomper, Topiary Stomper. New Nykthos.
One drop ripples and grows.
And yeah, they have a ton of mana. Alright, new con. To be fair, new con doesn't animate for lethal, but yeah, kind of leaning heavily on River Rebuke and kind of having the right cards. I'm gonna scoop it up here. For the sake of time, we are dead. I goofed a little with the with the Omnath. I could have played my lance slightly better, but we still would have just gained 4 more life. It wouldn't have made much of a difference. So you want the rebukes. But it's super. So here's an interesting one. Out of blue-white, you actually bring in a rest in peace versus green because of the Cavaliers and the Cavaliers and the Trolls, right? To stop them getting their death effects. Ley Line, I feel, is a little less to do that. We've got like a few black sources in the deck. We're not really in the market for that. I do like the Shot Typhoons though. The verdicts are super raw. That's kind of why you're going into Rebuke instead. We need all the answers. Well, Skunk Evaporation answers more, but we want our Lockdowns and Bone Crusher Giant to deal with Llanowar Elves and adding mana guys like Wolf of the Haven, that kind of stuff. What do you actually got here? I think Generous a little slow. You took out one of the Supreme Verdicts already. I'm not like totally on these Shot Typhoons, but they let us pressure in the air occasionally, and then also later on, it's just might. Like if they can recur might, then obviously the Shot Typhoons are bad. But there's tons of enchantments for them to hit, and so I think winning 3 Shot Typhoon is a reasonable way to win if they get to go to late game. Yeah. I'm just gonna trim some numbers here. An interesting one. Run it back. We'll play. We have Fable. We have lands. I'm pretty sure we have to keep this. Like, we actually hang on. So we don't have interaction for mana, guys. We don't have all our mana. I think actually this is a mulligan. Think about it more. Like the cards that we have aren't actually great cards in the matchup. I'm gonna keep 6. I'm gonna bottom this Kenrith. This way, we don't necessarily have answers for the mana guys, but we are going to have a Leyline Binding fully active very soon. And so we actually have the opportunity to Leyline Binding the Selfish Mystic. Which, you know what? You bolt the bird. That's what I've been told. Alright, I have a second one, fair enough. It'd be remiss of me not to temporary lockdown, given I've just done this. The next turn, it looks like we're gonna go like add Keruga Railgun Triumph. Actually, because we don't know what they have, like slowing them down is just so crucial. I'm gonna add Keruga, but making Fable is a lot better. Yeah, Uruzumik's an interesting one. Just bounces all the stuff that a player controls. The target opponent. I would love to go get a bit. Oh, it's a basic land type. We have Mardu colors, Bent. Black I want to cast. White. Garden. We literally have all colors. Actually, yeah. Gives them 4 mana up to 5. That means they can now cast a Cavalier. Okay. We see Nissa. We get a bit more information here. These on the festivals in the graveyard. Do we want to discard anything? We kind of want the next land. We're going to submit 0. So my plan here personally, 4, 6, 7. They can still invest if they've got one from hand next turn. My plan is to basically make a Shark Typhoon here. See if they attack on, see if they block or not. They are gonna block. I'm gonna cast Shark Typhoon. I'm gonna play the Nether Triumph. The idea that if they do put a bunch of stuff into play next turn, we can River's Rebuke, pick it all up, and then also make a big token. Now, we'll see if that works, but hey. The game plan. That's the plan. Khan's problematic. That gets the might. That's what we want to avoid. Well, let's make this look a lot worse. Well, I've just not had fires this game. It's tough. If we rebuke this turn, next turn we can go Cavalier, copy it, maybe do some stuff. Yeah. That's where I'm at. Okay. So we have a ley line binding. Just... We want this. Five, 8, 6, 15. I think we're going to need a land mode for next turn. We're going to swing with this though. We're going to aim to assemble some kind of kill. Our opponent, I don't know what that's going to look like yet. I'll have to run away in a second, just to answer the door. Unfortunate timing. Alright, Cavalier. There's so much mana. Really rough. Like, the idea is that we could get, like, Cavalier into play a little earlier. Like, if we have fires on turn 4, we can obviously accelerate the number of things we're doing. That's problematic too.
Let us begin. My allies are counting on me.
Alright, we can't activate the Cavalier. We're basically dead. Yeah, pack up, pack up. Alright, we'll hop into another game in a second. She'll go out to the door. Alright, let's play 1 or 2 more games. We'll see how long it goes, we'll see how long. Yeah, mono green is actually one of the reasons, actually. Well, the printing of Nykthos and the kind of rise of how good mono green is with it is a reason to stay away from Keruga Fires, to be honest. However, hey, I can still get in a lot of matchups. We should need to find one of those. Well, not need to find one, but hey, let's try and dodge mono green again. It is super tricky. Potentially, you can load up on more rebukes and stuff. As you see, it's a temporary solution once they kind of have a bunch of actual lands in play. So they draws for the mono green deck. In fact, the Topiary Stomper variant that we just saw, we went from no 5s to 4. I played it like a set. I'm gonna mulligan this. I think we keep this on 6. The bottom of the table. Yeah, the Topiary Stomper variant there, where they're going to find extra lands, is actually probably worse for us. And better against River Rebuke than the kind of more standard version. We do have a blue source, but yeah, we'll see. SP Yorion, interesting. We're not going to have any targets for this. I'm just going to fire it off now, and the off chance that they counter it, and then we can untap and Fable. I will still be honest, actually. Play the Bunker Christian out, they know about that one. Alright, Fable Weapons is solid. Blue, take those. Thing. We want the Spar as headquarters into the battlefield. Well, to enter the battle this turn. Play the Fable out. It's likely that with Yorion they're playing more of a tap out style control deck, but they are playing like Fatal Weapons and stuff, so maybe they're going to try and get a... Oh, they don't have double blues. They maybe... I was going to say maybe they have a Deluge here, but... I mean, potentially they're playing like Behold the Multiverse Glimmer, but... Fatal Push is fine. Remaining targets for... Okay, they've got Valiant Rush as well, but now they're down to 3 cards. Interesting. All the removal they played so far is like instant base. Alright. Yeah. On that. We draw the Fires. Sorry. Going off. We'll play this out. It's not going to be any great targets for it. Alright, cool. There's a Verdict. We can... see Fires in play. Not even real great. I'd rather get the Fires down when we can't interact with it. I think we avoid playing the second Fires in case they have like Farewell. I don't want to like. There's still, if they're playing Yorion, there's a better chance that they have like some targets for. And we're gonna. Maybe I should have played it just so I get an extra draw Keruga. I think that's kind of. I'm gonna sacrifice the clean now as well. They said no great targets for Bunker. Again, still kind of want to keep Fires around. Keep the Fires in hand. They're stuck on 4 lands, to be fair. I think presenting threats is probably better. Make sure we do this. Was not prepared for 4 modes. Alright. We'll do it this way around. Yeah, they seem to be really suffering from only having the 1 blue source. Right now we're in a position where we want to cycle this. We'll play this out. I don't want to play around. I don't fancy playing around Sailor Wreckage. And so obviously we're going to get It could be just like a Wandering Emperor, to be fair. Like, oh no, it is actual factual settle. You have basics. Yeah, we'll do this. It nukes off able passages, but I think that's like. Well, now cycle around and try with a lower land density. Alright. Now I feel better about putting the second one of these in play, but obviously we don't have the Keruga anymore. I'm not gonna play. You know what? Actually, from the cards they've played, there actually won't be any targets for that. I'm just curious. I'm kind of like, okay, they've not shown any like ETB effects. But what end are you playing Yorion?
Trust me, no time for a break.
It's an interesting one. I'm wondering if they might have like a veto here for the binding. I want to start we're at a point where I can keep lands in hand. This now. Data Fairy. They still have the Orion around. They might have an answer for this. Yeah. At the point where I want to keep the Clifftop Retreat in hand in case I draw a Cavalier, basically. That's the logic there. Okay, we've enabled a Fatal Push, which is, you know, not the greatest. These temporary lockdowns, unfortunately, not the best here. We have a lot of cards we can pitch to Cavalier if we draw one. Okay. This feels bad. Oh, actual Sphinx's Revelation. Jeez. Alright, alright. Still slightly recovering from a cold time of drawing. The time recording this, so please excuse my voice that sounds a little shot. Sorry. Alright. Now they've revved out. At which point now we are in the deep trouble. Okay. Alright. Well. This is awkward. At least we have answers to all these tokens that they're going to make. We'll give them a couple of chance of generating them before we do anything. Cycle the Triumph. Okay. 7 cards. You're gonna go token it up? Yeah. Fair. Oh dear.
I know what must be done. Hold that.
Well. That's not right. Are you trying to flick a proxy? The problem is if you flick a proxy with Yorion, you don't to cast it. If you cast it. It doesn't work. Is there a Fable passage you want to save for Yorion? Alright. You try and Leyline Binding to Fairy. You unfortunately can't do it on their turn because of the Fire Invention. This is also CMC 7. Oh no, it is 3 in play, but it's got by temporary lockdown. 7 once you blink it. Alright. We'd really like to resolve a Cavalier and chuck all our bad cards for good ones. So keep the Fable. I don't know if I've kept the Fable Passage. But, actually, well, we want to pitch the Fable Passage because it can't find lands. Have all the basics in play. This is effectively lost at this point. Assuming they have, like, any counter spells. Oh, okay, if there's anything we can do with your... Oh, okay. Well, we can do that one. Their turn. No, it's exactly 7 cards. Sure. Yeah, that's the other thing, is that Fire stops you casting spells on your opponent's turn, you can still activate ability. I've got Aura here. We obviously don't want to bounce the proxy, but we're going to try and end the turn and bounce the Teferi. Bit of a rough run of it, to be honest. We have a bunch of cards we can kind of board out here. They don't really do anything as the control deck.
You know what? I'm not done.
I'm not done. Yeah, so we take some damage here. We're gonna spin another temporary lockdown out on our turn. Try and slow them down a little bit more. What else they have now? A make shot Typhoon. Okay. Oh. That one's also a pretty big game. Teferi's on 7. Okay, both of these are fairly important to spin away. The Typhoon we don't have very many good long-term answers to. The Teferi's going to ultimate in a turn cycle. Well, not this next turn coming, but the turn after that. And we have lockdown in theory for Teferi. Come on. Oh, no, to discard. Now we really got him. The joke's on you. The joke was on you. My best Shaker impression. This is also sort of forced. Channeling them by the shot Typhoon. Never veto. Now we can try and lock down the tokens. When I said I play a couple of matches depending on the time, Esper's not bad. Esper's a totally fine match. It just takes a little while. I mean, it's not been the best of games. They were mana stuck for ages, and then we've drawn the wrong kind of half of the deck.
Let's no time for a break.
Yeah, best to upload everything I record. Like, I hope you get some enjoyment out of this. Like, a camera's interesting. The thing is that there's just so... Let's play Crystal Retreat. We have to try. And we have to resolve one of these. Wait, that is lethal damage. Alright, cool. We can pick our cards up. Okay. So, what comes out? The temporary lockdown. Skyclave apparitions. Dream verdict. We bring in the mystical disputes. Bring in the shot typhoons. And now we're like, we're gonna have to play some of the poopy cards. Right. Having a verdict in the deck seems fine. Here's a beat cans stuff. Also a nice catch because we don't know what our opponent's gonna meet up. I don't like the idea of random psychic operation. Seems fine. Alright, all of this. Okay. we will opt to play, of course. We have the disputes. I think we keep it. Basically, disputes serve the purpose of letting us force through fires and our more important spells. Make sure we actually have the untapped blue source, just in case, just in case they try something cheeky. Come out the gate is doing something aggressive. We're going to slam our Fable. We don't want to have to wait to protect it. Okay, they have the veto, which is rough. Yeah. We've not seen any sensors, so I'm going to assume they're not playing any. Them vetoing Fable's better than veto something more important later on. We are playing these mystical disputes with actually using them, so I feel it would be silly. But what are you trying to do to me, huh? What lands are you trying to use? I'm probably should go out. As the other thing is that obviously Veto is not good versus Veto. Alright, this cycling 3. Let's stuck on lands. Again, actually. But this actually had Draw Disruption. Played. What does this look like? I'm trying to work out if I want to hold on to this and see about cycling in a bit. We'll attack first. Odds are the removal I have won't be blue anyway. We'll add Keruga. Why are you like this? Alright, okay, this is my fault, but it's still frustrating. Just to... Especially after I saw it the first time, I should have manually tapped these. We have to take some ownership for the arena tapper. Using it. But, yeah. It didn't make a difference anyway, which is fine. This Keruga... Immediately feel like I should have kept the ring rather than try them at home. We're gonna cast off I4. Alright. That's not gonna draw any cards, but it is a threat. I'm just gonna dispute this. Again, we're not it doesn't counter any of the removal. Obviously if they have a wrath, it's gonna be verdict. If they have a removal spell, it's not gonna be blue. And they're stumbling a little bit. We have plenty of disputes to fire off. The downside is to go, ooh, interesting. What are they gonna ego? Now I'm curious. Fires of Invention. Okay. Not the end of the world. Played it like a set. Played it like a set. Sadly, know about this. They know about dispute. But we can cast Leyline Binding and then hold up 3 Mystical Dispute, which is interesting. Alright. This is the point again when we start holding on to lands for Cavalier. I'm gonna hardcast one of these. I forget, you can do that sometimes. Okay, they're probably like, alright, we only got one left. But this is a tough one. Happy to main phase this. Yeah, it's fine. This one I'm not mess with. Okay. At least for the time being, they still have to discard, but the next one's going to be. Oh, there's a verdict. We proxying. Card draw. Vanishing verse. This is going to be taking indulgence, right? Do I want to use our remaining 2 mystical disputes on this? I don't. Is the answer. I'd rather fight over something important. Alright. Fable. They have a veto. But they might. Yeah. Okay, okay. Yeah. Starting to get towards the point where these mystical disputes are gonna lose all their effectiveness. We're not quite there yet. They're better at forcing through our creature threats because veto's not creature. I want to hold this for something like Teferi. Be fairly reliant on the planeswalkers. Okay. Just use it. Oh, that's a nice one. Ironman. I'll ignore. Just to keep up my a full suite. They only know about one dispute, bear in mind. Alright, what do we draw here? How cool is you want to cycle? You want to be able to cycle it even if we draw a I mean we'd like to get a lot of life. We only have 1 green source, but it's pretty much just Bromnass, I think that's now we can dispute and cycle. If I have like there or something like that. We'll see. Also, not sure how much spot removal I left in to deal with the Omnath, for example. No, that's fine. I'm so paranoid after before when it just started attacking my blue sword and it started not leaving will untapped for some reason. But this is okay. Okay, it's a very interesting timing for this. Fatal push. More than fine, it works. Omnath. What do we draw? Kenrith. I want to play the Kenrith. Probably not. No, I'd rather use Kenrith when we have more mana. To which end, we'll play another green source. Well, there we go. Well, if we play Kenrith here, we're not allowed to be able to activate him. Being able to like bring back another Omnath or like bring back Keruga to draw pilot cards, really good. All right. Uh, Attack and worry about Fatal Push. They have 5 cards in hand. One guy attack, and then we can everything. So I'm surprised they left. I guess there's like goblin tokens. Like that's literally it, though, isn't it? I am surprised the left of it pushes in, but I guess there's probably quite a few cards they want to bring out here. Alright. So how much mana it would be? It's 9 mana? No, it's 10 mana. To go like Omnath Keruga. I think I'm playing this. But I don't wanna. I wouldn't mind resetting my Omnath actually. Oh, if we play Kenrith, we can reset it if they Wrath, actually. I kind of like that. Use the Osrawara that way. Could be a little greedy. We're representing some stuff. They might just have a Wrath here. They do. We're sent the Kenrith to our hand. This is the point where, like, okay, do they have a real spell? They don't. There's the Wrath. That's going to come down. And then what's the post-Wrath plan? He's not Math by himself. When they have the castle, it's just like, okay, we can play around it a little bit. Prime's deep. We'll put this back down. I don't want to get haste because I want to be able to activate for 4 mana. And Void Rend. It can't be counted. Reanimate an Omnath. Even more Kenriths around. Shard typing is a good draw long term. Yeah. Yeah, so if you activate for haste there, we're not going to be able to activate the ability. I think these are at least interesting matches. Getting the Gear Hulk down while we're tapped out is brutal, though. Fair enough. That makes us a little wary of I think. Well, we could have veto. How many have we seen? 2. It comes down. I think we should. I'm gonna hold this. Try this now. We can have the real spell for it. I think so. We know they don't have a non-creature counter spell now. Whereas they have like Farewell, they can hit both our enchantments. Actually, I'll put this into play so I can cycle this and still have a Mystical Dispute around. Like, these are. I've lost most of their value at this point. They still know we have one. Kind of funny. Camel is very interesting. I don't see a reason to cast it now, though. If we put one more land in our graveyard, it's lethal. Oh, they're playing Sphinx's Rev? Oh, maybe this is bad. I'll see. If they can't Rev for too much, they know we have. Yeah. It's 2022, man. Okay. We kid. We have fun. Now we have a very lethal attack. It's absorb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll make him pay. He'll pay for that. Like, do they have settle is what I'm really looking for. Some long games. If they have Void Rend, we did have the settle, but we kept hold of the speed. All right. Oh, I think this is like I stopped recording, but I think we're about 50 minutes. So I think this will probably be the last game. Does that change anything? I don't think so. I think this is still the best way for us to try. Play. I don't like this River's Rebuke. I think that it's kind of whatever. So, Omen. We didn't see something like kind. I don't like that. I don't like this guy called Apparition. So. Not surprising, but yeah. It shouldn't be good. It's just kind of the like, oh, maybe we should play it is kind of the best of the worst case. So while we don't have our like fires or whatever, we do have most of our colours. And a few power things, some interaction for the matchup, and I think we keep this. Moment of truth. I feel like we played the last game fairly well. Makes me happy. This is a tap line. Screen. Then we've got Steven that's for blue. Do they have something early to punish us? No. We drew a second Fable, we'll sound the first Fable. To be honest, we'll sound the second Fable, and we'll try and keep the dispute to resolve Fires of Invention. Absorb's an interesting one here. Because normally you'd like to veto that and save the absorbs for the creatures. It might just be them being mana efficient and holding on to using the absorb because they've got 3 mana. But hey. We're at least gonna like demonstrate that we are like make them think about dispute. We're gonna jam Fable here, and then next time we'll go Fires dispute. Okay. We have a token which will probably die. Interesting. Early Wandering Emperor. I feel about this. Now they have a push. Okay. This is fine. I don't have a spell pierce, right? You can go like Fires Kenrith. Oh my god. Oh, for goodness sake. Hold tight a sec. So I don't know, is it me? But I know the client clashes all the time for like computer's decent. So potentially it's crashed again on the loading screen. So that's there we go. Good. You see that? I don't know why it's not showing up in the corner. Now I'm panicking.
I'm home.
I'm going to tab. Can we just leave blue untapped, please? I don't. Still not showing up. Why is it? Oh, there we go. Right, cool. We made camera. We got this down. Why is it floating? Oh. Client diff. You can give it a taste and kill this. Well, essentially.
We must protect the people.
Oh, they don't have a gun to the Kenrith. That looks. Hmm. We have one green source. What do they do here? We want to add Keruga and cast it this turn. There's the block with everything, which puts both the creatures under the bus, but we also get to do damage to the Wandering Emperor. Stops them minusing it.
Big
I think the
mistake.
second one, it looks rough, but fine. We're going to go and go think of Andrew, add Keruga, cast Keruga for draw. Now, we don't have fires up, but... Oh, we don't have the dispute up, unfortunately, but it's not carrying the wrath anyway. Oh, let me get them. Yeah. Love to see a Yorion next stumble. Hey. Alright. Not too bad, not too bad. I think this video is over an hour now. So I'm going to call it there rather than queue up for another game. I think those last couple, that last match was like particularly interesting. The mono green one was a little sad, but hey. If you enjoyed the video, please do subscribe to the channel. I really, really appreciate it. Happy holidays, happy new year, all that stuff. All the best to you and yours. Hope you're having a great day. More Explorer content coming to you soon. And it looks like my client has crashed again. Great. Excellent. Peace out. Take care. Ta-ra, ta-ra.